First question, what are the top 3 necessary things that a graduate should learn before scouting for jobs in a new age company like Dreamster?
Okay.
And some softer aspects
Yeah.
On the skill set, right? Cultural aspects.
Yeah. So a lot of what I'm going to say right now is, a mix of what I've experienced and a mix of what I've seen, young graduates who've joined us, succeed at, The first I would say is adaptability. You will always face so much constant change, right? Structures changing, businesses changing. Every day is, in turmoil sometimes. You need to be adaptable because some people are fixated on this was what was said, how did this change, right? But the world's changing, your businesses are changing, your priorities keep changing, the team keeps changing, it keeps evolving, right? Your thoughts keep evolving, and there's no right answer all the time, right? People who can adapt to that pace, thrive, especially as a young graduate, because when everything around you is changing and you're not, right? The problem is not with everything around you, the problem is with you. So change and adaptability is very important. The second, I would say, is your fluency with technology, right? You have to be technology agnostic as well as fluent with any technology. You can't say, hey,
Technology agnostic and a technician together.
yes, you have to have that. You have to do that because, let's say, I joined this organization. I'm not a person who ever used WhatsApp, right? I hate to use WhatsApp, and it was a pain. I never used a Mac, in my life, and I had a lot of number crunching to do. I remember in my first 2 months of joining, and my Excel skills on a Mac were slightly different because the tools and the commands are different, right? But you got to adapt. You got to be fluent in all sorts of technology, and especially for a graduate and those entering a technology profession of being a software engineer, the tools that are going to come your way every single month, right? The developments in that tool is going to be crazy, right? And if you're not going to jump on being fluent with that, you'll soon find yourself outmoded, right? The third, I would say, is entrepreneurship, and that's where you require people to show ownership. It's not about complaining about what the world didn't give you, right? Or what happened to somebody else. It's about taking your own destiny in your hands, and acting with initiative, right? I think a lot of folks don't do that. It's always sometimes about an external force, but the biggest force that you have is the force of self-belief in you, right? Never lose that. I think these three, I think would make any graduate succeed in today's world.
Adaptability, fluency on tech, especially in the world of Gen AI, right? And the last one is an entrepreneurial spirit, translating to being able to do your own thing, right?
True. With self-belief.
Self-belief.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Lovely, lovely. Last question, and thank you again, Kevin. Gaming industry is ever evolving in its skill landscape, right? But technology as its backbone, like you just said, every week there's something new. What is working for Dream 11 to keep its Dreamsters relevant even today?
Yeah, so when you look at just the digital side of it, you end up focusing on all the cool things, right? Oh wow, this is a fancy tech platform, but there's also an offline part of it, right? So there's one of our businesses which is Dreamset Go. It takes 25,000. Dreamset Go.
Dreamset Go.
Yeah, so it's a travel experience. It's a bespoke premium travel experiences company, and it takes 25,000. It takes about 5,000 to 10,000 people to marquee sports events every year. And when you look at that business, right? When you look at the kind of focus that they have, very clearly they're focused on making sure that they give an experience that nobody has ever seen. Okay, at least from an Indian standpoint, you're getting authentic tickets. You know that if I have to go and watch a certain marquee event, maybe it's a tennis event in the US or in the UK, you can totally rely on them, right? So when I look at that, what's working for us and what's working for all our all our companies is the strong belief that sports is only growing, right? And each of our businesses, so if you take sports and sports tourism is growing much bigger than tourism, right? And you've just cited, about what you're seeing, the size of the gaming market, right? So that true belief that you're at a tipping point. It's a great opportunity. It's a fabulous place to be. You're at a market leader. There's groundbreaking work still because we've just broken stone. The foundation has been laid. We still need to build a castle, right? So I think, and multiple castles, and not just for us. Like I said earlier, I think this is for everybody, right? This is for what we can contribute to the sports ecosystem, because as that gets bigger, there'll be a lot of companies coming in, right? We've just been one of the pioneers, but I'm sure there are going to be countless many that will come in, and we'll be pretty happy if we were one of the first to make sure that happens.
Wow, amazing, Kevin. What you said right at the start of this beautiful conversation, that the stadium's full, everyone's cheering on, and we are at that pivot point.
Absolutely.
In this industry for its future, where the match is about to begin. And with that, my friends, we come to the conclusion of this episode. I want to thank Kevin Freitas, Chief Human Resource Officer of Dream 11, Dream Sports, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank
you on behalf of TAG, the Confederation of Indian Industry. And what you're going to say becomes part of great conversations that come to the trinity of academia, industry, as well as government, and are published in the India Decoding Jobs Report. I thank you, and I want to wish Dream Sports and Dream 11 great, tremendous success as we wait for the game to start.
Thank you, and I'm humbled to help in any way I can.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.